Welcome to Graceful Art Designs. Starting by covering my base with 3 colours, and the first one is gold, and I've never used gold as a base before, so I don't know how it's going to flow, how it's going to work, and I'm just hoping that I have enough gold. Yeah, I could have actually done, I wanted now, it looks like I do have enough gold. Well, I don't know how this is going to flow. And I've put the canvas on a spinner, on my cake spinner, because I'm not sure how the gold is going to flow with the other colours over it. I thought it might need a little help in the end. And then I'm going to pour the black on one side and a colour called rose on the other side. So it might spin a little now. It's not going to really be noticeable once it's spread out and once the painting is on it. Okay, so I'll just let it spread so it can go over the sides before I add the other colours. So we're going to cover properly. So I'll spin it a bit more. With the spatula. And let it just spin as I spread it. Because again, I'm going to be blowing out some blooms. Well, they're not going to be blooms in the bloom shape, they're going to be circles of colour. And they're all going to be various shades of red, so that the red will interact with these different colours each section and hopefully produce something interesting. We have the colours all spread out, the rose, the gold and the black, and the edges are all covered. I'm going to lay the colours down, and I'm starting with a colour called vermilion red. Now I want to put down very small circles of colour, so I really will not be able to do this with the camera in my hand, because I end up getting big splotches of colour that way. Not traditional blooms, more like rose, but it's not a specific flower that I have in mind. So I'm going to start by just doing one little drop, hopefully. And then I need the colours to overlap, so I'm going to do that and I'll bring it back. So there you can see I've laid on the colours, and I didn't get that quite right. Well, I think the gold just kind of split the red there. But I've got the vermilion red there at the top. I've got a cad red deep at the bottom. And I've got permanent red on either side. And in between I've got rose gold. And in the center black, but it looks like the black is disappearing. I think I need to put another little drop of black there quickly. And then I'll blow them out. And I'm doing it by pointing at the black. And then I'll spin it around. I wanted the colours to mix. I don't like how that's blown out, not at all how I wanted it. So I'm going to quickly scrape that off and redo it. Well, I scraped off the gold. I don't know if it's because of the gold that the colours turned out like that, but they didn't mix the way I wanted them to. So now I've laid down the colours on the rose part of the base, and I've put the colours one on top of the other with a drop of black as the last colour. And I also didn't use as much of the rose gold, just used one layer of it. So let's see what happens here. I'll leave that one for now, and I'll try and do the gold one in the center. The second one. just setting. And I've added more colour here because I didn't like the black. Some rose gold. Perhaps I need to add more gold around the edges. You can see there's a lot of gold there. I'm not going to add more. I'm just going to keep going. It's too high. Blew out almost the way I wanted it once I turned the volume up. It just wasn't moving enough with the lower settings. So, but I added more red because I didn't like all that black. And I added more red there because the rose gold wasn't spreading. And here I meant to add a drop of gold, but a whole lot came out. So let's see what happens here. It doesn't break up enough. After blowing and adding and blowing and adding a little bit more here and there, I see some reds are just not, I don't know, they just flow better and they just look nicer than others. I'm going to spin it a little bit to make sure that it is evenly covered. I see the black is moving quite a lot compared to the other paints. I'll spin it in one direction and then the other, and I see that the gentle, well, the rose is all going that way instead of that way. So let me turn that around. And I'm spinning it very gently because this cake spinner is a very gentle spinner. Here a bit of colour coming off, I think it's the black. And these blooms are very pretty, each different, showing the difference, you know, the order that you put the colours down can make, as well as the base colour. I'll paint away the part that I don't like. Here the red hasn't broken up nicely. It hasn't mixed nicely there. I had to take the canvas off the cake spinner, as I could see this side was lopsided and the paint was all falling down this way and away from the center. And even though I've added more magenta there, I see it's still moving away. That kind of forms a nice blossom going out there, and that one there, and this one. But I'm going to make it into a collection of different flowers, starting from up here, going through, which is what I wanted originally. And some of the paints, because they're different brands, seem to set faster than others. Maybe I'm going to do one flower there. And that line is just a guide that the petals can cross over. And then one will be here. A nice big petal there. I like this mixture that I got here in the end. This is really pretty. And then that will be. So that I'll paint away. I'll see. And then here, this will be one bloom in the center here. One flower, one flower. I'll have to try and blow that out with a straw. So there may just be one bloom in the center. Or this can be, oh, so pretty. Don't want to waste it. I'll blow that away, and this will just be a big bloom, a big rose or flower, whatever, in the center. These. And then here we can have two again. These also are a lovely mix. Or spread it with a palette knife if it will still spread. I added more gold to the centers here and there because I wanted all the colors to be visible in all the flowers. So I wanted gold to be in the center here, but also to appear in these flowers. And then I also needed to add more rose to this flower because not enough was showing. There was too much red and black, but not enough rose. And then I looked back at the composition and I realized I don't really like these dark lines between the different colors. So I want to cover them with petals. I put down more colors and I'm going to blow this with a straw because I just want these to be small flowers. And so these are just extra blooms. When they dry, I may paint away some of it. See, the paint's not moving there. But I think that's better. That covers the lines, so you don't have those straight lines. I think that looks good. I needed to add a few more bits of black to this side, and I wanted an even mixture of all the colors. And the black wasn't showing. Of course, there the black seemed to swallow all the colors, and so I had to add more of the rose. But here I got just the right result. And the black brought out some cells and lacing, which were just not happening. Now, as I see it, the black is too solid there. I'm going to try and blow that with a straw. We're going to add more rose, more strangely. The red was being swallowed up almost instantly by the black, but the rose showed up a bit better. So I added more rose and I'm looking to that, and just shaped those petals, blew them out again. They were getting too pointy. And, well, that's my last touch up. I must say I do think the gold is going to give a lovely background here, and I'm just sorry that I didn't have more, or that I thought I didn't have enough to pour in gold and black. But right now this is how the painting has dried, and I think it looks just lovely as it is. I will leave it to dry for quite a few days before I look at it again and decide whether it really does need any changes. But for now I think it's really pretty as it is, and I'm really quite speechless with the color combinations. I think they just worked so beautifully. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.